6 days to the repeat presidential election, the country is in a state of limbo. The grandstanding between NASA and Jubilee marking the already toxic waters, coupled by IEBC Chair Wafula Chebukati casting doubt on the agency's ability to deliver a credible poll. Despite withdrawing from the race, Odinga held a meeting with IEBC Chair at Anniversary Towers. The talks taking place shortly after IEBC announced that a planned meeting with presidential candidates had been postponed. With his name included in the ballot, the NASA principal appeared to go easy on his hardline stance.
So if that then happens and agreement is reached that is acceptable to all of us, then we are ready to consider our position and re-enter the race.
Top political actors are under pressure from the international community to unlock the political and constitutional deadlock that has impacted on the economy, failure to which envoys have threatened travel bans. President Kenyatta, who has previously ruled out talks with Odinga, saying he was willing to sit down with his political rival.
When I talked about reconciliation, I told Kenyans to pray for reconciliation, to pray for peace. The same thing I'm saying I'm willing to talk even to Raila about. Yeah? Just as much as I've asked Kenyans to pray for peace, to pray for unity, I'm also willing to engage anybody, on the agenda of peace and unity, right? And to keep our country together as we move forward.
We are canvassing for no elections on the 26th. We are not saying no elections indefinitely. We are saying no elections on the 26th. So that these very serious issues which have been raised by Commissioner Akombe and Chairman Chebukati must be addressed.
But even as Odinga asked IEBC Chair Wafula Chebukati to postpone the election, it was not lost that the Supreme Court ruling gave IEBC 60 days to conduct a fresh poll. The latest another election can be held under the 60-day constitutional requirement is 31st of October. The opposition remained adamant it will stage street protests on election day, precipitating a looming clash between NASA supporters, voters, and security agencies.
The environment is not conducive for a free and fair election, and the IEBC should be open to the Kenyan people so that a solution is found for the future of our country.
In agreeing to participate in this process as now, we will be basically taking our people for a ride. And we said we're not ready to do that.
The Jubilee part has in the meantime petitioned the Supreme Court to compel the opposition chief to take part in the rematch, claiming his withdrawal is in contempt of the court ruling that ordered elections within 60 days. In an affidavit signed by Jubilee Secretary General Raphael Tuju, Jubilee says NASA leaders have conducted themselves maliciously and without regard for the rule of law.
If they had any problems in the process, they were at liberty to go back to the Supreme Court and to canvass that in the courts. They decided to canvass it in the streets. It has not ended up far. They have ended up acting in contravention of the Supreme Court ruling. They are actually in contempt of court.
Samugina, Citizen Live at 9.